composer, a musician, you know, a conductor extraordinaire. But Todd is complex. He's complex wonderfully complex as a human and as a screenwriter and as a director. He understands the nuance in life, and he doesn't lead the barn unless he has something to say. Like, it's not, he hasn't made a film in 16 years, not because he's lazy, but because he's been waiting for the right thing. And I think you can really feel the depth of thought and in this movie. There's a lot of big questions in the movie, and a lot of incredible, quite dangerous nuance. And I mean, that all comes from him. Well, yeah, I mean, she's a very complex human being, and the moment we find her is a moment of transition. So, you know, that's always an exciting, dramatic moment for any story, I think.
Like you say, it's intense, and who brings the intensity is Lydia Tár. So I thought, who is the partner of a person like that, of a genius, of an incredible creative persona who has a lot of power? And Sharon is someone in her own right, a very accomplished musician, and also in a very powerful position, as I learned working on the film, that the concert master is a position that is right underneath the conductor, so it holds the whole orchestra together. So I was working on what is Sharon? Is Sharon part of the Lydia Tár system? Who holds that power up, because you might you might profit from it as well. And so all of the, it was all in the script, and I tried to take everything I could find to make Sharon interesting by talking a lot about the background story, about why did these two women meet, and what is it that brought them together. And it was the music, and it was the love of music, and be able to create something so beautiful as for example the Mahler Fifth Symphony. That's where they meet, and that's what Sharon clings onto, that please don't destroy it. Up to a certain point where she has to make a decision. Yeah.
Well, I've been thinking about this character for several years, and wasn't sure what I would do with her, or if I would do anything with her at all. I mean, I hadn't made a film in a very long time, and at one point I thought about actually, writing some fiction or whatever, and then Peter Kujawski and Kiska Higgs from Focus Features said, at the very beginning of the pandemic, write whatever you want, we just want you to write a script for us, and so it became a screenplay. Well, I hope nothing, other than that it's the same person making a film, I was a much younger man when I made those other films. It's, I don't really remember them. It's not like I've gone back and looked at them or anything, so that would be for someone else to say, not me. Well, we started talking about making this film in the beginning of September of 2020. And so we worked for nearly a year before we were actually in rehearsals in Berlin. And those conversations were both practical and philosophical and experimental, and they were very rich. And that was a kind of a huge luxury that we had that amount of time before we actually got into rehearsal. That's not often the case.
Well, I'd say my character is the character that actually breaks up all that tension quite a lot of the time. So that was a lot of fun to have these scenes that were really light-hearted, where I did things without, or Olga does things without worrying about any consequences, and she just lives life to the full and makes the most of it all, and she does things her own way. And so it was so much fun to play a character who, is so strong and just, she doesn't bend, and she fights back, yeah. Cello, yeah, so I'm still studying. I'm a music student. I'm halfway through my bachelor's, but that takes, like acting as well, so I would still count myself very much like a beginner, but that takes decades and decades of work, building the right muscles and, knowledge and awareness, and yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it did help and translate into the acting in terms of the being able to work together with other people and being aware of their emotions and being able to kind of bounce off them, maybe, and being in contact with lots of different characters because of the different kinds of cello pieces we play. Maybe that helped, I'm not sure, but it's quite hard to make parallels because in my opinion, they are quite different.